Zero.
So ready for live. It should be one
You
take.
are live.
Ruben's the first one here. Ruben was sitting at his computer waiting.
You ready to go, Dave?
Jeremy's live. Guys, what up? Close my door so this echo goes down a little bit. Take it away, my man.
Yeah. So last weekend, well, he got back from San Diego. This is where I live basically. So we just got back from Traffic and Conversion Summit 2017, and we learned a whole bunch of stuff, and we were really excited to share it with everybody that does, online marketing, social media marketing to generate businesses for their company. And what we realized was, we learned all these tricks, tools, and everything to use, but what good if you don't even know how to use the tools? It's like, giving you the blueprint to a house and giving you the tools, putting them in front of you, and then saying, go build a house. So I think on this video, what we're going to do is cover, how to put the batteries in the drill bit, how to change the blades on the saw, the whole reason why, you're doing this, how helping other people, no matter what it is that you're doing, the service that you offer is helping somebody in some way. So we're going to keep this short. We're going to do a whole bunch of these. That's going to cover tactical information, go over piece by piece, different templates that you can use and stuff that you can basically swipe and deploy to use. But again, we don't want to give you that information until you know how to use them and why you're using them to begin with. So what do you think, Dave, on that?
I couldn't have said it better myself. I find that with just the average, not average, intermediate, basic, like whatever we want to call it, the man, woman, business owner, space alien, whatever, trying to run ads in their business, it's so easy to get so overwhelmed by like this landing page, this pixel, this, all these things that are just flying at you. And you're like, I thought this was easy. And I find myself constantly just having to like take a step back, not because like people are like dumb or it's not like clicking, because there's so much information coming from so many different directions. And if you just take a step back and realize that the basic principles here are really what matter. It's not all the fancy bells and whistles and tools. Like, yeah, all that stuff's great. But the analogy, Jeremy, that you just gave, it couldn't have been any better. Like, you're dumping me on a construction site. There's all the lumber. There's the concrete. I got my jackhammer and my whatever hard hat on, and I'm just like, then you just leave. I'm like, what do you want me to do? So yes, I very, very much on the same page. Jeremy, you just kind of want to like dive into where we started here, like.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that are on this, are into want to learn about social media marketing. I mean, I think that's one of been the biggest demands, that people always hit me up with. I'm sure, Dave, you get inquiries all day. How to make money, using Facebook ads. And well, I think what a lot of people forget is there's the word social in social media. There's a reason why it's called social media. You got to think about that. It's not like a postcard you're getting in the mail like, hey, here's a coupon, buy my stuff now. You have to create an interaction. You have to build that rapport, with the customer before you ask for that sale. You have to be social in social media. That's why people are on social media. They don't log on to social media and go, oh, I want to look at all these ads that are popping up. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I do. I like looking at ads on Facebook because I just, screenshot, boom, send them a day. We back and forth, we throw them in the archive. But 95% of the people that are on Facebook aren't doing that. They're on there to see what their friends did that day, where they ate, kids, whatever you do on Facebook, but it's not to log on to look at ads. So when you're advertising on, Facebook, keep that in mind. It's a social platform. You have to be real. You have to be a person. You can't just throw an ad in front of their face and go, why isn't this ad converting? It's been up 4 days and I spent $45 and I got one phone call. What's wrong with my ad? It doesn't work like that. It's a total different platform. So that's why we're having this, because we need to convey that message to anybody that's taking a course or copying the perfect ad or whatever. If you don't know why you're doing it, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it. At least learn why you're doing it.
Exactly. And so, like, to that point so much, guys, people buy from people. Like, they're not buying from the business. A lot of these companies, like, we're local businesses. And so making that connection can be as small as, like, instead of having your company logo being the profile of your business page, what if it was you and all your employees, or you and your wife and your kids standing there? Like, you're making that social connection with somebody that they don't feel like they're buying from IBM when they're hiring you for an intimate service that you're going to be providing them, whether that's a local service business, coaching and consulting, providing advertising, mowing their, like, it doesn't matter what you're doing, because the social media platforms we're on, you need to be able to, Jeremy said it like 5 times, you need to be able to make that social connection. So, like, when you do, let's say, like one of the things that we're going to dive into really hard is videos. Let's say when you do a video, you're not hopping on a video like, hey, I'm Dave, buy all my stuff because it's so great, and you did it. Like, people don't want that. Like, being able to relate to what someone's going through. I mean, Jeremy, you can go on with that a little bit. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's the thing, just creating that connection. Dave said it good. People buy from people. They don't buy from companies. It's when there's a face behind the brand. Yes, you can pay all this money and have like a cartoon figure drawn up and for all your ads for branding purposes. I'm not saying don't do that. Like, that's a good thing to do, but don't post a video of just your cartoon guy and then pictures of your work and then that and say I was like on live or whatever. You talk to people, tell them about your day. It's we'll go into that a little. That are going to succeed in this day and age with Snapchat, Instagram, all these social media platforms. The companies that are going to succeed are the ones that are willing to invest the time to create that one-on-one human interaction. The big brands can't do that. The big brands spend millions and millions and millions of dollars just to try to get that connection with their buyers that you can get being a smaller business just by pulling out your phone and making a video, and it costs you nothing. It's free. No money. Like, it's a no-brainer. And that's the advantage that you have over any of these large, huge corporations. Like, before a video has to go up, it has to be approved by 15 different people to make sure you don't say something wrong to piss somebody off. None of that. All that's out the window. You just broke all the rules. And we have a wide open market with the technologies that we have today to get the word out about our services, our company, whatever it is that you do. Leverage that. You got to leverage your competitive advantages.
Guys, this is like, you need to buckle your seatbelts for this statistic, because it's just going to make so much sense of everything that we just talked about in relation to video. So buckle up quick, because this is nuts. Social video generates 1,200% more shares in social engagement than a text and an image ad combined. So if you put out a text ad, just an image with some text, as opposed to any type of social video, live video, 1,200% more engagement. Everyone knows that engagement leads to awareness. Awareness leads to consideration. Consideration leads to conversion. I'll back that up. You got to make someone aware of what you're doing to get them to know what you do. We need to create awareness. Hi, I'm Dave. I do stuff on the internet. Get to know me. I'm going to show you everything that I'm doing all day long. Now you're like, oh, you went from cold, now you're warm. You know me. I'm Dave. Hi. I'm sharing stuff. I'm giving you stuff. We're doing things. Now you're getting warm. We're building trust. You feel like you know me. You see my family. You see what I'm doing during the day. I'm in my office losing hair and smoking and swearing and all these other great things that now we've made a connection. Now guess what? I have a problem I can solve for you. It's not a question of me providing a sale. We know each other. We've developed a relationship because we're being social on social media. Now we're going to take that, and if you have a pain that I can solve, if I've done my job properly of creating awareness of who I am, getting you to consider, warm you up, trust is gauged, you understand the brand, all that that's going on, now you're not even asking for a sale. You're like, what can you give me? I need what you have. You've been talking about this stuff. I'm paying attention. I'm listening to what you're doing. Can I have what you have? And I'm willing to pay whatever you want for it.
Yeah, exactly. And you're talking about your day, like, you know, everybody goes, oh yeah, that's all good news and all, you know, post a video up and, you know, everybody will like you. You know, I don't have a face for camera, you know, or I hate being, you know, on TV or whatever you want to call it. Like, I get that. You know, the first time I ever went to go shoot a promo video, big cameras, boom mic, everything on the beach, I froze. I mean, I couldn't even talk. I was just sitting there like, worst experience. Totally flopped. They couldn't even film it. Didn't have any edible. I think they ended up doing me as a voiceover, and I wasn't even on the camera. You know, that's how bad it was. And so I get it. I know what you mean, but you don't have to have a prepared script. You don't have to make it all formal and everything. You just talk about your day. Talk about, yeah, I watched 3 houses today, or I, you know, did this or did that. You know, it's great. And that's it. You know, nice, short and sweet. Talk about, you know, even bad days. You know, something bad happened. Talk about that. That's what's going to get people to connect with you. You know, mess up. Get on there, start stuttering, drop your phone, trip over, stub your toe. You know, that's the realness. You can't buy realness. Like, realness is real. There's not, again, comparing it to the big corporations, they can't buy real. They can't. They can spend a lot of money trying to get it real, but it's not going to be. You have to be that person. So social media, you'll get that engagement. You'll get when you know, they know what you do because you were talking about your day, you know, that you clean carpets or you mowed lawns and you were really happy with how these flowers came out of this garden. Whatever it is that you do, just talk about it. Because people are going to make a connection and it's going to stay in their head. So when they look at their flowers and the flowers are dead, they're going to go, oh, I remember that video that so-and-so put up talking about how beautiful those flowers were. Maybe he could help me out. Boom. You didn't spend any money.
What if they search for your business and instead of seeing your logo, they see your face?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's the guy I've been watching. Hello, that's who I need to talk to. That's the right guy, you know. It's huge, guys. So, you know, when we give you these tools to teach you how to do different things online and how to write great ads and all that, you know, keep that in mind. You know, it's social media. There's a person on the other end of that computer. It's not just a random female, age between this, that likes this, and this. There's a person there. There's a person scrolling through their timeline that you need to connect with. You have like 2 seconds, if that, to not only grab their attention, but connect with it. So, I mean, if you've already done all this work and you've got all the content, people already know you, when you put that ad up, that's, again, not going to look like an ad. It's going to look like a story because you're here to tell stories and connect with people. You're going to get much better engagement, much better conversions, your cost per click, conversion, whatever it is that you're paying for. You're going to have such a huge competitive advantage over people that aren't doing that. It's just ridiculous. It's nuts.
And like taking a step further, guys, and looking at, so you create this dialogue. You know, you start this conversation, knowing that there's someone on the other side of that computer. If you've done the proper job of warming up and creating that audience, like, you're staying engaged with these customers. Just because you're like doing live videos on your business page and doing that stuff, that doesn't mean you can't run an ad. Like, these long story ads are absolutely amazing. And me and Jeremy are going to be going over this again next week, like what was it, Jeremy? The 8 perfect.
Yeah, there's 8 elements. Yeah, just
Yep.
1 through 8. We'll touch on each point of
1
those,
through
but
8, like a whole ad the whole way down. But guys, what I want to make a point of, because I'm a huge believer in direct response ads. Identify your customer, excuse me, craft an irresistible offer, and create urgency. It is the most basic way of running an ad. Now, let's say we've all been on social media before and we've gotten an ad from someone that we had no awareness of, didn't care about at all. Maybe they could do something we did, but we saw it. We didn't know them. We didn't trust them. Now think if you did the job of creating that awareness, starting that conversation, recognizing that right now, as I'm talking to you, you're sitting at your house. You're the other end of this computer. You have to burn that in your brain when you're running ads, because if you just continually put out content that engages your customers, then you can still go back to the basics and run a direct response ad. But this time, they're going to respond, and they're going to respond more because they know you. They trust you. They get it.
Exactly. And you hit the nail on the head. I mean, my background is direct response. I want that phone call, all this branding, making people happy, all that's good stuff. I want the phone to ring. That's what pays the bills, so I get that part of it. But when you put in the time to build that awareness, it just makes the sale so much easier. And also you want to test, run in stories, instead of, you can have your direct response ad going on Facebook, but put a story on there. When people are going through, you stop to read stories, you read news stories, you want to hear about this, feel good thing or this feel bad thing that's going on. You're not going to stop to read an ad unless you know that person. There's an awareness there already. Then I'm going to stop and read that ad. But videos or any of that, but you put a story out there, that's going to create so much more engagement on a social media platform than a straight up ad. People go on social media to be social. They want to hear stories, tell stories, this and that. Again, they don't go on there to read ads other than like me and like probably 5 other people. But
I'm 2 of them. So, I mean, yeah, we kind of got through our list. I guess one thing that we didn't touch on, and just kind of like gets to the point again, is, guys, you have to date the girl before you ask her to marry you. And that goes in that concept of cold, warm, hot.
You want to start a conversation before you ask for the sale. You're not going to walk up. I mean, yes, you could walk up out of 10 people. You walk up and just say, "Hey, you want to go home?" or whatever the case may be. Yeah, you might get 1 out of 10, but if you warmed it up, answer the right questions, and you say, "Hey, you want to leave?" You're going to get 3 out of 10. Maybe you're big and buff, you get 5 out of 10. But that 10% ratio versus 50% ratio, it's a big difference there, just by starting a conversation before you close the sale.
So without, going too deep into any of the advertising stuff, guys, you have to burn this stuff into your brain. Like the concept that one of my biggest takeaways from the entire convention was that there's a person on the other side of that computer. Exactly. And you always have to be aware of that. Like when you start going nuts about your whole, Jeremy dropped the best gem, and I'm saving that for later. I know you guys want to leave you hanging, but basically, like, your customers are selfish too. Like they don't care about all the great stuff and all the investment that you made in your company and how great and how certified. Like, you can have a good reputation, and that's one thing. I'm not putting that down. Like, use your accolades in your business to get more business, but at the same time, like, you need to be conscious that a lot of people that are in the basic and intermediate level of trying to run Facebook ads, these are people that are running local businesses that want to use Facebook, this new magic sauce, to generate leads. And guys, just like with anything else, there's a right way to do this. But if you try to force a square through a circle and say, 20% off my service right now, buy, and then post online 4 days later like, I spent $30 on this and it didn't work, and Facebook is snake oil, and it's just, I don't believe in it. I'm getting all of my calls from referrals now. Word of mouth is all I'll do. I don't even want to go on the internet because it's all a lie. Like, guys, we have magic available at our fingertips right now. And it's up to you. If you're going to take the responsibility, open up your checkbook, write Mark Zuckerberg on that check, and pay Facebook to run ads, you might as well write that check for all the money in your account, go give it to someone to cash. And that's a horrible example. Go to Vegas, put it on a crap table, and lose. Because you're cheating yourself if you're not at least like exposing yourself or understanding the basics of this is a social media platform. You have to be social. Like there's no way around it.
There's a human on the other end of that computer. So when you're sitting there trying to figure out what you want to put in your ad or whatever type of campaign you're running, picture that. You know, who's your customer? Are they at work? Are they sitting at home? You know, think about those things, not like how can I make myself look better and talk about myself. And yes, you want to create a sense of urgency, all that good stuff. But when you're writing your ad and you're like, is this something good to write? As long as you're writing for a human on the other end of that computer, your ad's going to do good. I mean, it's a story. You're on social media to be social. Otherwise, it'd be just called ad book. You know, like.
Is that domain for sale?
But yeah, I mean, I think we needed to get this stuff out of the way and get everybody on the same page before we started talking about tools and all the cool tricks and things we learned at Traffic and Conversions. You know, it's all very beneficial, but it would have done us no good to tell you guys all about that and explain all this good content if you did not just get that basic principle through your head. Social media, you have to be social. There's a human on the other end of that computer. Be real. You have that leverage, and that's the biggest reason why I wanted to have this tonight. I mean,
I could not agree with Jeremy more. What I challenge everyone on this video to do that's watching this right now, if you're catching the replay later on, I don't care how camera shy you are. Get on your Facebook business page in your company uniform. If you're selling a service, consulting, if you're doing insurance, whatever, put a suit on. Tell people about your day.
Yep.
Get on there, point that camera in your face like you've seen a million people do a million times. I'll tell you what, all of them felt the same way that you did. If you're the guy who's like, I don't really like to get on camera, you have to get used to doing that stuff. So I challenge every single one of you watching this. If you watch this in 10 years, please do this.
Yeah.
Get on video.
To answer the questions that are popping up, you want this on your business page.
Yes.
So your business page is set to public. You don't want to have it tied down. You know, you have to put it on your business page and have it set to public. Unless you're
Say it again, Jeremy, set to public, because I had to get reminded about that the other day.
Yeah, you have to make sure it's set to public. You know, by default it should be, but you never know when you go in and you see public. You're like, no, I don't want to make it public. Oh yeah, it's my business page. I didn't think about that. You know, so before you do this, but do the videos on your business page. Put the face behind your business.
And I just saw another question come through. Someone said they had done a Facebook Live, but they didn't get any views.
It doesn't matter.
I do Facebook Lives all the time. There's 2 people on there. Like, that doesn't matter. That content stays there.
I don't care if that's good. I don't care if there's 2 people on there. There's 2 people taking the time out of their day to sit there and watch you talk about something. I don't care if it's 1 person. If you were sitting, if you go to have a meeting and there's 2 people there sitting at the table and you thought there was going to be 10 people showing up, would you not talk to those 2 people that showed up? It doesn't matter how many people.
Trying to give you $1,000. Do you want it?
Exactly. I'm not going to talk to you because
I'm
supposed to have 10 people here, or 50, and there's only 2, so I'm not going to talk to you guys. So bye. It doesn't matter. You keep doing it. It's content. Just do it. That's it. Nobody else.
It stays there. That's why in this video I can say, you person that is watching this in 5 years. You know, one of the beautiful things about the internet, guys, this video ain't going anywhere. All this stuff that we do, this data, don't let me say data too many times, Jeremy will start getting goosebumps, but it's like, the internet, this database of video, of content, of every single thing we do every day is being tracked. Every day. And advertisers have the ability to use that targeting and put ads in front of you for that reason. So this video, Me talking to this camera right now. Someone could watch this in 5 years. Yes.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes, Bill. Business page set to public. You can go live on your business page, and I advise it every day.
So when you do a live video, you'll see if you do it on mobile, before you post the video, there will be this little down arrow where you can download the video to your phone. You can repost that on your page and then boost it with a local awareness objective. And then you might get a ton of viewers because you're putting something in front of somebody.
Right.
That makes sense, guys?
Yeah. I mean, well, to me.
Jeremy, are you sure? Does it make sense to you?
I don't know, man. You lost me.
So yeah, guys, if anyone's got questions, I think you guys have been kind enough to spend 25 minutes of your evening with it. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
If there's a couple more questions, we can get to them, or I know my babies want me to get home probably. See, I'm being social. Parents, do you like me more? Do you trust me? We have kids. We're building. We're talking. We're being,
You're real.
Real. Guys, make sure if you found anything valuable in this video, make sure to share it. Hopefully you have better luck than I did because I keep sharing it. It just shows me and Jeremy's names like trying to hang out together with no video under it.
Yeah, if you got use out of it, share it, guys. Otherwise, y'all have a good night, and we'll put together some more, action, down into nitty gritty, like some great tips and tricks that we use. But again, I don't want to take you to that level until you understand, that there's people behind that computer.
You're not invited to the next session unless you do a live video on your Facebook business page.
Yeah, that should be a requirement. Yeah.
You know what? So. Yes. Next session, you're invited to, we're going to do an email opt-in for the 8, so there's a Facebook ad template. 8 steps. It was one of the best presentations at TNC. For you to get an invite, I need you to tag me or Jeremy in your Facebook Live video that you did on your business page. Or if you don't want to learn about the 8 secrets to the perfect Facebook ad template, just don't do a video. You won't be invited. I like to be dramatic. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's easy.
Tag me, tag Jeremy in your video, and we'll show you something absolutely amazing. Let's say within a week? We can do it before next Thursday, right?
Yeah. I mean, Wednesday or Thursday, I think next week be a good.
We'll give you guys
all a week to work up the courage to do it.
That courage. And if you need any help, if you need any advice, if you need any tips on what to talk about, what to do in your live video, any of that, message me. I don't know if Jeremy wants you bothering him, but I like talking to you. I'm talking to you knuckleheads all day. So if you guys have any questions about, Dave, I need a live topic. Dave, I don't quite understand like how to do, I'm camera shy. I'll hold your hand and walk you through it. I won't do it for more than like 7 minutes on Messenger, but I promise 7 minutes of my time to every single person that has questions about doing a live video on their Facebook page.
You're the man.
I do what I can. We out?
Very good. We're out.
Guys, have a great night. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for tuning in.
Later.
Bye.